The Oklahoma City Thunder are primed to make a solid jump this season, but first let me start off this video by explaining to everyone why the OKC Thunder's 2017 NBA season wasn't nearly as bad as everyone says it was. In 2017, the Thunder finished 4th in the West with a record of 48-34. While this record does seem bad compared to the expectations heading into the season, the Thunder were only one win behind the third-place Portland Trail Blazers. Going into the season, there wasn't anyone who legitimately thought this Thunder team was going to be better than the Warriors, but there were some people, myself included, who thought they would be better than the Rockets. The thing is, those people that thought the Thunder would be better than the Rockets also did not expect Houston to win 65 games on the season. So realistically, third place was the best the Thunder could have done by the end of the 2017-18 season, which was only one place better than they actually finished. Now it's time to look at 4 games during the season in which the NBA admitted the referees cost the Thunder a win. The first game came within the first week of the season in a game where Andrew Wiggins banked in a 3 for the win. We're not even going to talk about the bank. The following day, the NBA admitted they missed a blatant moving screen on Cat that would have nullified Wiggins' game winner. The second game in which the refs cost the Thunder a game might have been the NBA officials' worst call of the season, in a game where Giannis Antetokounmpo stepped out of bounds on his way to throwing down a game-winning dunk. There were also 2 games where the NBA admitted they missed the call, but it was too close to expect the refs to make the correct call. In a game versus the Denver Nuggets, the NBA admitted that Nikola Jokic took longer than 5 seconds to inbound the ball to Jamal Murray before he nailed the game-winning 3. And in a game versus the Celtics, the NBA also admitted that Marcus Morris traveled before nailing his game-winning 3 at the Garden, and that Russell Westbrook was also fouled on his game-winning attempt. Now, I know the refs can't get every call out right, but if they changed their mind on just 2 of these games, the Thunder would have finished with the 3rd seed in the West, right where they were expected to be. Now it's time to talk about the 2018-19 OKC Thunder. Did they get better? Yes, but please don't be one of the blind sheep that thinks that they got better just because they got rid of Melo. Don't ignore that Melo was on 4 of the 5 best 5-man lineups OKC fielded last season, and that Paul George was on 3 of the 4 worst ones, including 2 lineups where he posted a net rating of nearly negative 20 points per 100 possessions. The Thunder will be better this season for 3 main reasons. The first being that they will get Roberson back. This one's going to be the most up in the air as he's still not cleared for 5-on-5 activity, but all signs are pointing to him being ready for the NBA season. With Roberson in the lineup, the Thunder were a top 5 defensive team in the league last year, but that took a massive hit when he went down with his injury. The Thunder tried to fill his role with players like Corey Brewer and Terrence Ferguson, but neither of those guys brought with them 1/5 of the defensive ability that Roberson has. Just like Steph needs Klay to help him out on D, Westbrook needs Roberson to help him in the same way. OKC's starting lineup with Roberson posted a net rating of plus 15.1 points per 100 possession, making them one of the best 5-man lineups in the league before he went down with injury. The second reason the Thunder will be better is because of their depth. When the Thunder traded for Melo, they gave up Enes Kanter, or in other words, they gave up roughly 99% of their bench scoring to get Melo. Okay, it might be a bit of an exaggeration. This, along with the ineptitude of Billy Donovan, meant that the Thunder would go through gigantic stretches where they didn't have a single capable scorer on the floor. Out of OKC's 10 most used lineups from last season, 2 of them didn't include Melo, PG, or Russ, and another 2 of them only featured Paul George. When Paul George was featured as the lone starter with the bench unit, the team posted a net rating of around negative 20 points per 100 possessions. On a team that had 3 go-to isolation scorers, it's absolutely ridiculous to not have at least one of them on the floor at all times. And in a situation like the one in OKC, where this Thunder franchise knows that Westbrook can lead a team on his own, he should have been the number 1 featured player alongside the bench, not Paul George. This issue will be solved at least partially as the Thunder now have a capable 6-man in Dennis Schroeder, so it won't just be Paul George going out there with a bunch of bench players. Another big key with OKC's depth last season was their lack of a backup center. I think one of the biggest crimes Oklahoma City committed last season was not trading for a backup for Steven Adams at the deadline. When Steven Adams played last season, the Thunder posted a net rating of plus 5.1 points per 100 possessions, but when he left the floor, that net rating dropped to negative 1 point. But that doesn't tell the whole story. The difference that Adams made on the Thunder was pretty insane. The Thunder's offensive rating dropped by over 7 points, and their offensive rebounding percentage dropped by over 11%, and their overall rebounding percentage dropped by almost 7%. And that's the difference between being an elite rebounding team to a bad one. While a lot of this could be explained simply by those being the skills that Adams excels at, that was only part of it. The truth is the Thunder didn't have a backup center. The duties were split between Patrick Patterson, a player who's so unathletic at this point that he makes Melo look like Terrence Ferguson, and Jeremy Grant, who's good, but his true position is at power forward, and this was never more evident than when Adams was forced to check out of the game in their series versus the Jazz, while Gobert was still on the floor. So that's why I think the acquisition of Nerlens Noel was one of the most underrated moves of the offseason. Even if Noel continues to play like he has the last couple of years, it's still going to be a dramatic improvement at that backup center position. And the final reason the Thunder will be better is simply because this team has had more time to gel. Before Roberson went down last season, the Thunder had won 15 out of 20 games and showed real signs of coming together as a team. Paul George and Russ were for figuring out how to play off each other, also incorporating the rest of the team. If this team can stay healthy, they should be able to make a 7-10 win jump, finishing the season with around 55 wins. It would be really big for the Oklahoma City Thunder, but a big thing too is as long as they're able to avoid a first-round matchup with either the Rockets or the Warriors, they should be able to make it farther in the playoffs than they have since they lost Kevin Durant. You guys just watched this video. I'm the Flying Chubs. Make sure you guys check me out on Instagram, and if you like what I'm doing here, please like and subscribe. I'm going to be cranking out more NBA videos every single week. Thanks for checking it out, guys.